Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself Chirag Gowda from Audi section, and today we are going to discuss about quadrant system. So before we start, let us know what are all the topics we are going to cover in this video. The reference planes, views, quadrants, 3D methods and 2D methods. So let us know what is a quadrant. So imagine you are standing right in the center of a big sheet and there are four lines dividing the paper into four equal parts. These lines form a big plus sign in the middle of the sheet. Each of these parts is called an quadrant. So let us know what is a reference plane. A reference plane are of three types. Horizontal plane. A horizontal plane is parallel to the ground. The vertical plane. The vertical plane is perpendicular to it. The side profile or a profile plane. The side plane shows objects profile in 3D space. The next one is views. So basically, view is the side from we are looking or observing the objects. The first one is front view. Front view is projected on vertical projection. The second one is top view. Top view is projected on horizontal projection. Side view is the third one. The side view is projected on perpendicular projection. Next is quadrants. A quadrant is a region defined by two axes, x-axis and y-axis of the coordinate system. When the two axes, x-axis and y-axis intersect each other at 90 degrees, the four regions so formed are quadrants, as you can see in this diagram. So, in this diagram, you can see the four quadrants: first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, uh, it is positive x-axis and positive y-axis. In second quadrant, it is negative x-axis and positive y-axis. In the third quadrant, it is negative x-axis and negative y-axis. In the fourth quadrant, it is positive x-axis and negative y-axis. So let us understand about 3D views. In 3D views, it is in the first quadrant, positive x-axis and positive y-axis. In the horizontal projection, the projection of points in 3D scene onto xy plane in the first quadrant. The positive x-axis point to the right and positive y-axis points upwards. In vertical projection, the projection of points in the 3D scene onto the zx plane in the first quadrant, the positive x-axis points to the right and the positive point outwards z-axis points outward from the viewer. In the second quadrant, negative x-axis and positive y-axis at the horizontal projection, the projection of points in 3D scene onto the xy plane in the second quadrant, the negative x-axis points to the left and positive y-axis points upwards. In the vertical projection, the projection of points in 3D scene onto the yz plane in the second quadrant, the positive y-axis points upwards and positive z-axis points outward from the viewer. In the third quadrant, negative x-axis and negative y-axis at the horizontal projection, the projection of points in the 3D scene onto the xy plane in the third quadrant, the negative x-axis point to the left and negative y-axis points downwards. At vertical projection, the projection of points in the 3D scene onto the xz plane in the third quadrant, the negative x-axis points to the left and positive z-axis point outward from the viewer. In the fourth quadrant, positive x-axis and negative y-axis at horizontal projection, the projection of points in the 3D scene onto the xy plane in the fourth quadrant, the positive x-axis points to the right and negative y-axis points downwards. At vertical projection, the projection of point in 3D scene onto the YZ plane in the fourth quadrant, the negative y-axis points downwards and positive z-axis point outward from the viewer. So let us understand. So in this diagram, you can see how, so in this diagram, you can clearly understand the 2D view. So in this diagram, you can clearly understand the 2D view. Thank you.